Praise you, Abba, you are good. Your grace and your mercy endures forever and ever is your faithfulness. Praise you, Father. You are good. Your grace and your mercy endures forever and ever is your faithfulness. Isaiah chapter 40. Isaiah, Yeshayahu. Isaiah chapter 40. Isaiah chapter 40. Verse 1. Comfort and keep comforting my people, says your God. Tell Jerusalem, take to heart. Proclaim to her that she has completed her time of service, that her guilt has been paid off, that she has received at the hand of Yahweh double for all her sins. Be comforted, Israel. Be comforted. Let's continue. As we hear this voice that is crying out, verse 3. And what is this voice that is crying out? What is this voice saying to our ears? Clear the road through the desert for Yah. Clear road. Clear a road through a desert for God. Level a highway in the Avara for Elohim. That's the desert. Let every valley be filled in, every mountain and hill, the Lord. Now this is, okay. Now the thing about this, like, these group of words, right? Like this is, the songs are made about this. This kind of thought process, these grouping of words. Level highway, clear the road, level highway, valley filled in. Now, we know this, right? This is all throughout the whole scriptures. Everywhere. Everywhere. And then if we actually take a step back, right, and see what's literally happening in, there's a flattening, a leveling, a sort of a even path to walk on. A easier, more desirable, more a level. The ability to walk upon this path is pretty simple, kind of like walking down a sidewalk. This, right? But it's if walking in a valley ain't like walking on a sidewalk. Walking through a desert, like, it's tough trying to walk on the beach alone, right? You go to the lakefront. I'm in Chicago. From Chicago, Milwaukee, like this, every city I've ever lived in besides Indianapolis has an actual real lakefront, and it's tough to walk. It's tough to walk in a desert, bro. It's tough to walk in sand. This is why when certain people train, just go on the sand, because it's tough to walk on the sand. It's tough to walk in a valley. So tough to walk through a mountain. So all that's gonna be, all that's gonna be made level. Isn't that what we desire? For our walk with the Most High to be like just as simple and just without friction, without battle, without any hardship. Just as easy as opening your door, walking down your own sidewalk and going to the mailbox or taking out the trash. Just as simple as that. We wish it was always like that, but it's not. For the most part, in this walk, before he takes a particular time, and during this time, what he does. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's slow down. So we are in Isaiah, Yeshayahu 40. Now, think about this whole book of Isaiah. Let's forget talking about it. Let me show you. Go right to the beginning, right? This book starts off like how it's supposed to, right? Getting checked. right? Like since the beginning of the entire, hold on, one page to turn. Sorry, guys. I guess I should have licked my thumbs or something, whatever. Anyway, so here we are. Yes, Yahoo, Isaiah, since the beginning. Like we're actually in chapter 40, but let's just double back to right one. And here it is, telling you to hear. We just left chapter 40. He's a voice crying out, so you need to hear. Hear heaven, listen earth, for Yah speaking. And what did he say? I raised and brought up children, but they rebelled against me. An ox knows its owner, and a donkey its master's stall, but Israel does not know. My people do not reflect. Make sure you reflect. Make sure you reflect on what? Your sins, O sinful nation, and people weighed down by iniquity, descendants of evildoers, immoral children. They have abandoned Yahweh, spawned the Holy One of Israel, turned their backs on him. And what does he say? Where should I strike you next? Where should I strike you next? Where should who? Not the devil. Not the devil, but him. Like, bro, you got to really get this. It's not Satan striking you. It's not your mama. It's not your daddy. It's not your baby mama. It's not your baby daddy. It's not the boss at the job. It ain't the niggas in the hood. It ain't none of that. It's him striking you. Where should I strike you next? As you what? Persist in your rebellion. And what's going on? The whole head is sick. The whole heart is diseased. From the sole of the foot to the head, there's nothing healthy. So hold on, pause. So off top, prophet. Second verse here. You bogus. You was my child, but you don't listen. Even a donkey know what's up, but you don't listen. You don't reflect. You full of sin, the whole nation. You can't go nowhere because you weighed down by. You can't go nowhere because you weighed down by iniquity. You ever had it happen in your life? Like I'm dealing with that right now, bro. In this last 9 months, I've owned 3 pickup trucks. The work I do, I have to have a pickup truck, right? And I bought 3 of them here in Chicago. And I don't have them right now. I keep losing them one way or another. I can't go nowhere. I'm locked in this space where and this, I know I have to get to work. But I understand it because of my wrong choices, and wrong choices always is sin. I'm way down. I can't even go nowhere. Sometimes your iniquity will weigh you down where he won't even allow you to move because you're too weighed down by your own sin. I know what it is to be in lockdown because of my own sins. And I have my own sins weighing me down so much to the point where I can't even move. Literally, physically move away from the space that I'm in. So off top in the beginning from the prophet, through the prophet Isaiah Yeshayahu, what he's doing is he's correcting by exposing. And throughout the first 40 chapters of Isaiah, that's what he's doing. Just a lot of correction, a lot of getting your ass whipped by the Most High through the prophet. But here we are. Things are about to change a little bit for Israel. That is chapter 40 now. In the beginning of the book, there's correction throughout all those chapters. You'll see a little bit of comfort, but you'll a lot of correction, a lot of exposing. Go 44 videos before this. Go back, check it out. But now we're in chapter 40. He finna turn the page, so to speak. And now it's time to comfort. To comfort his people. This is what God says. And tell Jerusalem, take the heart and proclaim to her there. She has completed her time of service. See that? You see that? We're just talking about this. And that's what happens. He will lock you down, hem you up for a certain time. And you're going to serve. Why? Because of your sins. But after this certain time, he'll comfort you. And your guilt will be paid off. And you will receive from the hand of Yah double for all of your sins. All the things he took from you. Right? Now, let's keep going. So here we are. Clear a road through the desert. For Yah, level a highway of our desert for Yah. Let every valley be filled in, let every mountain be lowered, the bumpy place made level, Right. So now, instead of us being corrected, and now instead of him putting enemies up, having enemies overtake us, having our own actions overwhelm us, we're getting comfort. Instead of us living in the desert, instead of us having mountains all in front of us where we can't go, instead of us all the way down here in the valley, all that's going to be raised and lowered, and things will be made level, so much level they will become what a plain. And then what? Then the glory of Yahweh will